Yobo, welcome to another episode of In the Life of MightyFan. Got some hockey pickups. One's more of a traditional hockey pickup. The other one is, has a hockey hook to it. So let's get right to it. We'll get to the lid first. This is actually a hat. Whether it was this particular one or one like it, they've made so many different versions of it and so many different styles of it over the years since the original run came out. And Hat Club did a set of hats, I think it was during COVID, and they basically hooked MLB hats to hockey, sweaters. And I forget exactly what they called the set. Of the set, this was one of the more popular hats, so it sold out like right away. And again, this is COVID time when hats were just gone. Like as soon as they would hit the site, they would be gone, right? I've since cooped the Phillies Flyers hook, um, and the Marlins Panthers hook, and there may have been one other in there somewhere, but I was able to get this one off of. They're both so similar, Poshmark and Macari, but I believe this was a Macari pickup. In fact, it was. And the seller had it, and I believe this was the OG version of this hat. Again, I've since you've seen it a bunch of times, different ways. And there's another one on Hat Club that I would like to get because it's a white hat. It kind of goes and it actually has the stripes to the Mighty Ducks back in the day on the hat. So at some point, I want to get that one. But I was able to grab this, and again, this was the Hat Club version of the Anaheim Angels Mighty Ducks crossover. So you got the colors in there. Again, a good look at that. Really, really nice. I like the way this one's done. With the Disney era, A on the front, Bannerman logo on the back. And again, it is a hook to the. Although, if they really wanted if I have to be nitpicky a little bit, the color of the crown probably should have been more of the eggplant cover than color rather than more bright purple. But it is what it is. It still goes. Everyone still knows what this is a hook to. So there you go. If I can get to stay. There you go. There's a little combo wombo action for you. The Angels Mighty Ducks crossover with the Mighty Ducks jersey. So, just another option for me when I wear these jerseys, of which I have a few, just today in the collection. So the Jason Duck logo, of course, as I always call this, one of my all-time favorite logos for hockey. Great crest on the front of that jersey, and there is the Hat Club exclusive of some years ago. The Angels hook to it. So very cool. Great job by Hat Club. Couldn't get it originally, but years later, I was able to grab one off of Poshmark. Got a really good deal too. Sometimes you see them and like the sellers just want gobs of money, but this one was actually pretty reasonable, so I was able to grab it. And this was an eBay pickup. This is actually, again, it kind of goes to show, patience is a virtue. This is a reverse retro 2.0 that I did not get when they originally hit. I had plans and designs on getting one. They sold out pretty quick, and then the resale market was a real pain for these. Anytime you see an Adidas authentic, and I know there's so many fakes of it out there. So anytime you see an actual legit Adidas authentic in it, the seller wants just an arm and a leg for it. But it actually worked out for me. The version I got was the Fanatics breakaway version because it was available and it was below retail. So as soon as I saw it, I was like questioning. I'm like, is that a good one? And I'm like racking my brain, and I'm pretty confident that the fakers don't fake the Fanatic breakaway jerseys. They do Adidas, obviously. They're stitched and all. It's just whatever. But the Fanatics one, I don't believe I've really come across a lot of fakes for it. So that kind of made it look a little safe to me. Plus the seller sells just legit jerseys, mostly baseball, does a lot of baseball, either blank, jerseys, a lot of Majestics, or Nike, blank or players. Sometimes some of the players, they also sell some hockey, and some of the players they do for hockey when they get the jersey is like the player retired or maybe changed the team or something, for the most part. And so I figured I was in good hands getting it from that seller. Um, and again, like I said, it is one that kind of eluded me for a while. I wasn't like, hunting for it. I do a search for reverse retro, jerseys on eBay just about every couple days. And this one popped up. So, I took a shot on it. It just had a generic front and back picture, no real close-ups or anything. But again, I knew it was a Fanatics one. And I figured, okay, well, it's probably not a fake. The seller only sells legit stuff, so it's probably good. So, and indeed it is. I actually was doing an unbagging for this earlier, and I got a phone call that I had to take, so I had to cut the video. So this is like my 2.0 attempt of making this pickup video. So already unbagged it. It is what it is. But we got the Bruins right here, the Reverse Retro 2.0, the Pooh Bear 2.0 that they wore last season. The captain at the time was Patrice Bergeron, and it is actually the player I wanted to get in this originally. And if I couldn't get him, I would have been okay with Pastrnak, but Bergeron was the first player of choice. So the fact that it was a name and numbered version of it, and the player I wanted, and originally when these came out, I was pretty happy to get it. And again, it's the Fanatics version, so it's just, generically, pressed on nothing, as stitched as it would be with the Adidas version. But again, it didn't really matter to me. I just wanted this jersey. So, Patrice Bergeron is your player. Of course, he retired after last season. All-time great Bruin. Really good player for, probably a Hall of Famer. Going forward, I would imagine. You got everything going on this jersey. The Bruins on the shoulders. Again, this would be based off the original that came out back in the 90s. Of course, they updated it, though, by making it more of the Bruins kind of, colorway instead of that bright yellow honey pot jersey, of the time. And but everything that was on that jersey is on this jersey, right down to the trim at the bottom, and on the shoulder and on the sleeves as well. Very cool. And I do like the fact that it has more of the traditional Bruins colorway for it. It makes it pop even more. Of course, the big, bear head on the front, the Pooh Bear, as we call it. Really nice jersey, and seeing it, up and close, you do have more of an appreciation for it too. Again, even though it is the Fanatics breakaway version, to me, I didn't really care. As the old saying goes, beggars can't be choosers. I had a chance to get one that was all name and numbered to the player I wanted originally, because he was the captain last season. So having that captaincy on there is pretty cool, as well, a little added bonus. But yeah, Bergeron, one of the all-time great Bruins. And there is the Reverse Retro 2.0, the Pooh Bear 2.0 in the Mighty Kingdom. And I know Adam, to the chagrin of Adam, I know Adam enjoys watching, watching this when I show this jersey. And Adam, it's just more motivation for you to get, a diehard Flyers fan has this in the collection, but a diehard Bruin fan needs to get this in the collection too, Adam. Come on now. Hey, Adam. So here's the original 1.0 that Adam's just so happy to see again. This is the original 1.0 in the collection. The Ray Bork right there, another captain in the Bruins wearing this jersey. But this is the jersey that, of course, the 2.0 is based off of. This is this crazy jersey from the 90s when the NHL was very wild and wacky. But there it is. There they are together in the Mighty Kingdom. Adam, do you have both in your... No, you need to... Adam... Huh? What are you waiting on? Come on. I just want to get one in my size. I can see him now. I'm just trying to find one in my size. I know. Well, Eventually, again, this is more motivation for you, okay? So the Pooh Bear 1.0 and the Pooh Bear 2.0. And Adam, don't worry. I keep these away from the Panther jerseys, okay? So... Because I know the Panthers have become quite the fly in the ointment there in Boston, huh? over the past couple years. But no. Yes, and yes, I know the Celtics are in the finals again. It's that's getting rather annoying. But when the playoffs started, I mean, full disclosure, when the NBA playoffs started, I'm like, the Celtics are probably going to win the whole thing. I mean, they're just that good, and it's no surprise to me that they're in the finals. You know, we're going to see if Luka and Boston's old friend Kyrie can give them a series, but at the end of the day, when the smoke settles, I believe the Celtics are probably going to... It's just one of those things, you know? I guess Boston's sports championship drought lasted, 5 years? Ooh, boy, they know how to have droughts there. That's an easy stretch around here, but anyhow... I would imagine the Celtics are probably going to win. If Dallas wins, I wouldn't be shocked. But boy, Boston and Dallas, two sports cities that I've had some interesting times with over the years with the Cowboys and of course all the Boston teams But anyhow. We do have a good baseball team. We have an October around here, you know. Boston, not so much with the Sox. And I know, they had their years, and that curse is all over with Bambino and all, and they became a dynasty. Not anymore, though. No. There's one team now. Anyhow, I kid because I love, okay? So, anyhow, those are the recent NHL pickups, right? You got the hat, the crossover, the wonderful, I forget what they called this set. I know the NBA, it was like the MLB NBA, that it was like the crossover. I don't think they called this the cross-check, but I forget what they called it. But you got the Ducks. You knew I had to get one of these eventually, right? With my affinity for the Jason Duck logo. I mean, it had to happen eventually, right? And then we got the Bruins. We got the Reverse Retro 2.0, Fanatics version, the Patrice Bergeron, Pooh Bear 2.0 right there. And again, because Adam just loves to see it. Yeah, there you go. There it is, the 1.0 and 2.0 in the collection. Again, we keep them away from the Panther jerseys, which are back here. Adam, would you like me to show you the Pavel Bure? I think you really want to see. He's easy. But anyhow, don't you worry about the Flyers, Adam. They're building. Mishkov. We're finally going to have Ovs on our team in a few years. Adam's like rolling the eyes right now. Yeah, whatever. Don't worry, we'll show you how to beat the Panthers. Don't you worry, it's coming. It's coming in some years. Don't you worry, the Fly. I'm telling you, we got Ovs on our team. When you have a team with Ovs on it, it's good. That's a good thing. It's worked out for these other teams over the years. The Flyers are finally getting Ovs. Shout out to Danny Briere and Keith Jones. Keep doing your thing, okay? We're getting there. It's going to take a little time, but we're getting there. Finally, we're on the right track. I hope. But anyhow, I've been missing the hockey play. I enjoy watching them. You know, I know the Avalanche have been knocked out. I like the Oilers. So I know they went up 3-2 tonight against another Dallas team. All these teams in Dallas are winning besides the one. What's the one that hasn't won in a while? Oh, yeah. The one that plays football. That's even better. But no, the Oilers took a 3-2 series lead. They still have to finish off the job, right? But, you know, they got one more game to go, one more win, and then they're in the Cup Finals, and we'll see whether it's the Rangers or I mean, we could have a year where it could be like the Celtics and the Rangers, but the Celtics in basketball and the Rangers in hockey, oh, God. Oh, the Panthers have the Panthers have been like, you know, doing the dirty work of Philadelphia, right? They've been beating Boston and now New York. It's like, I mean, if they're no bother to me, you know. They're like, come on, Panthers, come on, one more. Knock the Rangers out. No, I don't want to see the Rangers. But you know, that's been a pretty good series too. But, as a Flyer fan, I'm like, I just want to join in. It has sucked, but I do like the direction that they're going, and I think, they're still pieces away, but hopefully Mishkov will be one of those pieces, and we can really start to build maybe around him and some of the other young players. It takes time, and I do believe in in their direction, and they look a whole heck of a lot better than they did years ago. So you gotta start someplace, and hopefully, over the next, few seasons we can get back in, join in on the fun of the NHL playoffs. I've missed it, I really have. But I watch what I can on TV. Of course, I'm all wrapped with my Phillies, of course, every night. But first to 40. I know the Yankees, but we got the 41st. All right, so now it's the battle of who gets the 50 wins first in the season. Yes, but I do have some hat pickups I have to get to. It is the End of Life series, and life is going to happen. I've had a lot of issues over the past week with my family. My father and mother were both in the hospital. My father got out of the hospital last Sunday or this Monday. I think it was Sunday. The days just blend together. They both went in the same day, 2 different hospitals too. And I had to be up with. I had to stay where my dad was because my stepmom was visiting with her brother, who came in, and they were in another part of the state. So my dad's in the hospital. I had to stay by him and his house because they have dogs, and I had to dog sit while my dad was in the hospital. And he's doing well, I'm happy to say. He got out. But my mom, who is dealing again, she dealt some years ago with kidney issues, and it's really bad now. And obviously she's been through a lot in the last few years. She had kidney problems a few years ago. She was put on hospice. She graduated from hospice, amazingly enough, and then she got the breast cancer, and she's fighting that, right? Was doing good with that, but then the kidneys came back. And it has been a very, very rough week. She is what they're calling on comfort care now. She's not on hospice, but she's on comfort care in the hospital, and she could pass at any time. So as you can imagine, it's been a very, very rough, emotional week for me, going every day, basically saying my goodbye every day, every night, whenever I go. It's a hard enough thing to do it once. And here I am doing it every day for 5 straight days now. Tomorrow will be day 6 if she makes it another day. And it's I say this here on YouTube because I feel like I can talk to you. It's good therapy. And I really didn't want this whole video to become that. But it happens, and it's really been a rough thing, as you can imagine. My mom raised me. My parents divorced when I was very young. My dad, to his credit, stayed in the area. He stayed a part of my life and never left the state, even just kind of lived in different spots until he remarried, and he's been in the kind of same spot there for a while. And but my mom, was my dad was a big part of my life, but obviously my mom was even much more because I was with her. I stayed with her, and she's been through so much, and it's really been a roller coaster ride of emotions this past week. I tried to film a video about this earlier, and it just went off the rails. It got too long, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go. I'll refilm something. I was expecting this to come in the mail, and I'm like, all right, well, at first I didn't think I would talk about this in this particular video, but again, life happens, and the In the Life series of MightyFan mostly is going to be about sports and pickups and going after jerseys and hats and whatnot. But, you know, real life is part of this too, and I try to be as open as I can. Um, and So I've been dealing with that. And like I said, it's really, it's taken a toll. It's done a number. I keep expecting the phone call to come, you know. In fact, the phone, when I was trying to film this earlier, the phone rang and it was from the hospital. I'm like, oh boy, you know, you know, this could be it, right? This could be the phone call. But it was from their hospice care just giving me an update. So, you know, I keep kind of trying to mentally prepare myself for it. The inevitable, basically. Unless a miracle happens and she makes it through. I wouldn't put it past her to do it. But it's just not looking like, you know, that's going to happen. And it's pretty certain now. It's just we don't know when, but it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be who knows. But repeating that process over and over is just it's taken a lot of mental capacity for me to do. And I'm even now just trying to hold it in. And I know you're not supposed to hold it in, you know. You let it out, you know. But I know I've talked to a few people about it. My buddy Slim, Mark M, you know, a couple other people know. And I thank them for, you know, my buddy Anthony. And I thank them for, you know, the support and, you know, reaching out and whatever. You know, I haven't, like, thrown it on Facebook or anything like that because, you know, I just don't think it's time. You know, if and when she does pass, I think I'll put something up there then. But, you know, family knows, some close friends know. But, you know, if you could just, you know, throw some prayers, you know, for her. She's been through a lot. She's 89. You know, she would have been 90 or maybe still will be 90 in August. Who knows? But she's lived a long life and a very good life and a meaningful life. Her main goal, you know, for so many years was for me to get through, you know, get my diploma. She wanted me to get my college diploma, you know, get through college. You know, this is years ago. I graduated in 2012 from Cabrini, which is now going to be part of Villanova. Villanova, there is no more Cabrini. Villanova, they're going to close and Villanova is going to take over the campus. It's going to be an extension of the Villanova campus because it's close by to Villanova. That's the last I heard, anyhow. But she was just staunch about that. She wanted me to get a good job and to graduate, you know, college. I was able to do those things. She wanted grandchildren. I couldn't do that. That was that was not in the cards. I still haven't found the that special someone, but you know, I'm not that I'm looking, to be honest. But I couldn't fulfill that hope for her. But I was able to graduate, and it was tough for me, you know, with school because I have ADD, and if you don't know what it is to go through, you know, school with that, it's very difficult. You know, trying to concentrate even now, you know, just concentrating, putting my focus on something can be very difficult. But so I struggled with that, but I got through it because she just wouldn't let me, you know, doubt myself. And she was very, you know, very staunch for me to get through it, and I was able to do it. I always tell the story, like, you know, when the Phillies won in '08, you know, we went to the parade. We didn't go to the Eagles parade together, but we went to that Phillies parade, and that was my first championship as a Philly fan, you know, Philly sports fan. So it was it was a momentous day to you know, to say the least, and go there, and you know, in Philly and Market Street, we got there a little, you know, a little later than maybe we should have, but we got there before the parade came through. And there was we crossed the street, and there were some people sitting on the curb in front of the barricades, the fence barricade, and all the people behind that. And my mom, being who she was, said, well, there's people sitting there, let's just sit there. And I'm like, being who I am, I'm like, well, no, we're supposed to go behind the fence. And she's like, oh, no, there's other people sitting. My mom could be stubborn. So she sat down and I sat down. People behind us were upset because they were there since, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever, getting that prime spot. And here we are sitting in front of them, in front of the fence. And they were not happy. They were, I even got my hat knocked off. I wore the championship hat. I got that knocked off, and I quickly grabbed it and put it back on. I think I might still have a scuff mark or so from the street from that one on that hat. But she just would not turn around. I mean, they were saying, all these stuff. Oh, we've been here. There's a bunch of Karens in that crowd, So, so what happened was just before the parade came by, and we weren't the only. All this, it went from maybe however many people to the whole curb was just lined with people sitting down on both sides of the street in front of the barricaded, fence. And the cop came by just before the parade was coming, and he tells us, hey, you can't be here. And we're like, where are we going to go? Because there really wasn't anywhere to go. I mean, honestly, it was the fence, and there was like people 20 deep, So we weren't going to crowd surf. I mean, what were, what were we going? Where were we going to go? We can't go on the street. So the cop's like, okay, you can stay, but just remain seated. Don't stand up in front of the people behind you. And we're like, okay, The parade comes by, and so I'll always have my mom to thank that my first ever, venture to a Philadelphia championship parade, the Phillies in '08, I had a front row seat to the buses and floats and trucks, trailer trucks going by. Still have confetti in a bag. I have confetti in a bag from the Eagles one too. But that will always be something that I will always, cherish with me, is that I had that moment with my mom at that parade, and because of her insistence of sitting where she sat and being so stubborn not to move, probably had one of the best seats for that parade, for that championship parade on Halloween, which is the best of both worlds for me. It was a Philadelphia championship, and it was on Halloween, my favorite holiday. It was just a perfect day back in '08, and I always have that memory, and many other memories with my mom, but that one I think is one of the ones that always just pops in there. It's the first. And there were plenty of other time spent with my mom and things that we did, and places that we went, and like I said, she raised me, and I think she did a good job. My staunchness for finding the right deal, and even at times, like Slim will get on me, if it's towards the end of my billing cycle for my card, and I'm like, wait, I don't know about this jersey. Let me wait a couple days. So, just get it. What are you waiting for? Paying for? What? I'm like, well, it's from my mom because one of her big things with me too was to make sure every bill gets paid on time, in full, because having good credit is a good thing, right? And because of that, I have this house. I have the cars I have, right? I have the Mighty Kingdom is in my possession because of that, because of my credit score. Because you need good credit to get to get a mortgage for a house, to get to go through the bank to get a car or what have you, right? And I do have very good credit because I pay everything on time, because that was ingrained to me by my mom, because she would always worry like crazy about making sure all bills were paid, and oh my goodness. And so, and about my collecting, I mean, I'm glad that she supported it, sometimes begrudgingly. And I have stories about sneaking some jerseys in the house and such, but she did. She supported it. She wasn't always the most pleased about the financial aspects of going after stuff, but she wanted to get the best deal of everything, even at the Mitchell & Ness store. Back in the day, her haggling in there was like, because she used to go in there with me when many years ago, and they had the sale racks, and she would want even more of whatever the price was, even more off. Oh, we'll give you this for the jersey, right? And sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't. But she would haggle. She knew how to haggle. She had a gift for it, and it was because of that, I think, is why I always, not to say that I try to lowball, sellers or whatever, but if there's a best offer, I'll try to make an offer. Try to get a little extra off. Never hurts to ask. If you don't give them a chance to say no, they can't say yes either, right? So that's through my mom. I've learned that, and I know Slim's always like, oh, you're good at you're good at and you know about the bill cycle, and you wait, and sometimes you'll lose things, and and I don't know how you lose things, and I wouldn't do it, but you do. It's because of my mom, because she ingrained that to me, to make sure everything's paid. And if I think that the bill's getting a little too high, even if it's one paying for to start the paying for, I might just hold off another couple days or a week or whatever until the next cycle, just to make sure everything is status quo, everything gets paid. And I've never been late with a payment. I've paid everything on time, full amounts. But that was ingrained to me with my mom over the many years that I was with her, and even after, when I got the house and I was here and she was at the old house or in her apartment or at Plush, at the Plush Mills, at the assisted living. I mean, she would still make sure, and she would call every night. We would talk every night, say goodnight kind of deal. And she always wanted to know. She always wanted to make sure I ate dinner. And then she always wanted to know who was playing that night. Even if she didn't understand everything about the games, she always wanted to know, okay, who's playing and what channel are they playing on. So I would tell her, the Phillies are playing tonight on, NBC Sports Philly. So she would make sure that channel was on at her place and at least have it on. The Flyers are playing, or the Sixers. Sometimes it was tough because multiple teams are playing at the same time. Okay, well, just stick to this one. Because obviously, as she got older, the hearing got a little, tough, and trying to explain to her that this is on this channel at this time, and that's on that channel on that time, that became a little tricky. So, choose your battles there. But, or if there was an Eagles primetime game. Eagles are playing on, ESPN or ABC tonight, And so those are the things she always, like every night, like clockwork. I mean, Slim could tell you, he heard the calls when we were together. And it was always, did I have dinner, and who's playing tonight, what channel? But, I miss those calls because she can't talk now. So haven't had any of those phone calls, but oh my, almost lost it right there thinking of that. But again, who knows what's going to happen? It is tough because every day it's like repeating a process is very hard to do, to say goodbye. And but I just, it's what I have to do. And until that phone call comes, if it comes, who knows? I don't put it past her if she somehow overcomes it, but it does not look good. It does not look like that's going to happen. But so that's pretty much what I've been going through the past little over a week now. And let me tell you, having both your parents in the hospital at the same time, 2 different hospitals, is a very difficult thing. Having the hospital hop through those days was very difficult. And it's tough because you're seeing your parents in pain, and you don't want to see that. It's a very difficult thing, no matter how old, you are. I mean, I'm 45, but it's still a very difficult thing. I do consider myself fortunate that, I'm in my 40s and my parents are still around. My mom was 89, my dad's in his 70s. So they both live long lives, and my dad's still gonna, be with us. But if my mom does pass, I mean, she made it to 89, and I, got through college, have a good job, have a house, have, amenities to me because of what she ingrained into me. So at least I'm glad I was able to, have them, or at least have my mom for as long as happened. And my dad, hopefully too. Hopefully going forward, maybe at least into my 50s. Hopefully, he'll be around for. So maybe more. We'll see. Never say never, but I do consider myself fortunate in that regard. Yeah, it sucked that they broke up when I was very young, but both of them still stayed a big part of my life, and I'm thankful for that. And like I said, for my mom, raising me the way she did, as crazy as it was at times that I thought she was in doing certain things certain ways, particularly about getting that diploma. She was all about that diploma. She would always bring up her master's. And and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get a master's degree, but I'll get that college diploma. But I'm glad that I had many, many great years, with her. And if this is it, then, she left quite a legacy. She was an amazing woman. She really was. Overcame so many things. So it's been a tough week, and I'm sure it's going to continue to be even tougher as we go forward here. But, I guess I said my piece on that. And I hope I didn't drown it out too much. I just, as you can imagine, it's been a very trying, time, and it will continue to be. But we're gonna overcome it. We're gonna get through it as tough as it's gonna be, and keep pushing forward. That's all I could do. So anyhow, I think that's it for now. I've pretty much said everything I kind of wanted to say and then some. So it's 1 a.m. just about here on a Friday into Saturday now. It's a weekend. I'm going to get some sleep. It's been tough. Sleep's been tough over the past. I mean, I guess it's not too surprising for those who know. I have, the recliner, that I did kind of doze off. Like every day this week, I dozed off in the recliner, even tonight. I kept thinking, okay, well, this will be the day I go upstairs without falling asleep. And I fell asleep again tonight. I had the Phillies won, and I had the Oilers Stars game on, and then I'm just a sucker for those Fast and Furious movies, so I've seen it a bunch of times already, but the FX debuted at F9, so I had that kind of back and forth. And I had it on F9, and it was about maybe 40 minutes or so left in it or whatever. I dozed off. I woke up to the end credits. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not too surprising. But it's been, when you have a lot hits you emotionally, it's just, you just never know when you're just going to conk out and fall asleep. And every night, most nights it was with a hockey game on, because, a lot of the hockey games come on late. So, the Phillies were done or whatever, and, have one of those games, either Panthers, Rangers, or Oilers, Stars. And then I wake up and I want to know who won, so I don't want to just go on ESPN and see the score, so I go on YouTube and there's the highlights. So I'm watching the highlights. And I'm like, okay, well, all right, that's how this went, or whatever. But anyhow, that's how I do my little recap every night. But, so yeah, so I'm going to try to get some sleep. It's good, at least this Saturday can sleep in a bit. Tomorrow, Sunday too, so catch up on a little lost rest. But, we'll see. Anyhow, thank you as always for watching. Thanks for all the continued support to the channel. There will be more from yours truly, coming up. I hope to do another vid in the weekend. I do have a few hats to share outside of this one. So, at some point maybe I'll just do a nice video down the man cave, a little, video down there. It's actually, you know, you notice I'm upstairs and I'm not like profusely sweating. It's actually nice weather out. It's been cooler. I do have the fan on, but you know, it hasn't been like. Or earlier this week, it was a steam bath up here because you know it was hot and humid. The humidity is what gets me always. It's, you know, the heat is what it is, but when it gets humid and sticky and people love the summer and they live for it. Like, I'm a fall guy, not to be confused with the original Lee Majors, okay? But I'm a from the old show. Of course, now they made it into what looks to be a bad movie. Like, I'm seeing the trailer for it. I'm like, I'm a sucker for. I'll watch it eventually, but I'm not running to the theater to watch that one. Although I do kind of look forward to Bad Boys at some the most recent Bad Boys. I don't know when I'll see it, but I do want to see it. The original plan was to go to Maryland to see it with Slim, but I don't know if that's going to happen with what's going on with my mom. But you know, we'll see. But no, the time of year, yeah, autumn. I enjoy that the best, weather-wise. But you know, now we're starting to get into it. It's June now. It's officially June 1st. It means it's Schwarber month, but also it's the start. It's the start of the hot and sticky season. The humidity and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. But it's actually nice up here, so I was able to come up here and do this, you know, a little hockey video, you know, pickup vid. And I hope you all enjoyed that. And like I said, thank you for all the support as always. This is MightyFan. I'm going to sign off for now so I can go get some sleep, which is probably what I need. I'm just like wiry and awake now. You know, I fell asleep in that chair and now I'm up and I don't know. I just started filming a video at this time, but you know, it is what it is. Anyhow, what do you always got to do? You got to leave those likes. Let's like this video up as much as we can. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Again, the goal of MightyFan hitting 2K subscribers by the end of 2024 is still a thing, right? So we are now in another month. It's the month of June, so we're another month closer to the end of the year. And I would love to have 2,000 subs by the end of the year if that's possible. I think I'm on 2.6 or something like that now, I'm sorry, 1.6 now. So if we can bump that up to 2K by the end of the year, that would be wonderful. So appreciate all the subs. And also make sure to hit the bell icon so you get alerted to all notifications by yours truly. Again, I should have another video up before the end of the weekend. Just a little, you know, chop it up vid, but also going to show some more new hat pickups. At least hat pickups from the last however many weeks. You know, not all now, but, you know, the past however many weeks. I just haven't shown them, so I'm going to do that. But anyhow, that's going to do it for me, for real for now. Thank you as always. And, Adam, you want to see that Pooh Bear? No, that's... I know Adam's going to grab one of those someday so I can stop holding mine over his head. Here it is. Anyway, go watch your Celtics in the finals, Adam. Try to be a Sixer fan, then you'll know what pain is. Hey, we got to end on a smile, right? Anyhow, you all take care, and I will see you all in the next one. All right, everyone.